Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of SEScoops, and today I am once again joined by Impact Wrestling star Steve Maclin. So, Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good to talk to you again.
Of course, it's been about a year since we spoke around Bound for Glory last year. Obviously, that's coming up in just a few weeks, but a few things have changed, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But at the time of recording this, the official PWI 500 list just came out yesterday. The whole list was unveiled, and you ranked in at an honorable number 268. So, first of all, what was your initial reaction to finding out this news and receiving this recognition?
I literally just found this out just now, so
Oh my gosh.
I know the rankings come out.
Yeah.
I've never really followed.
Uh-huh.
It's not a big deal to me. I know it's a big fan thing, but
Yeah.
it's not big of a deal to me. But cool. Thank you for voting me for that number.
I think,
Hopefully higher next year, I guess.
yeah, I mean, you've accomplished so much. Obviously, everybody is on this upward trajectory. So, how do you hope to elevate or up your game even more this next year?
Obviously, with the match coming up at Victory Road, a barbed massacre with Moose and Sammy should probably be a qualification of that of beating two former world champions in that match. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and you've done so much in this full calendar year now, plus with Impact Wrestling. So, can you tell us more about your experience and some main takeaways from this full calendar year at Impact Wrestling now?
It's been nothing but awesome, and Impact's been booming ever since the restrictions and letting fans back in after COVID. And it's just wrestling's booming in general, whether it's negative or positive in the social media world, but it's still talked about, and that's the one good thing. It's doing great everywhere, and I think Impact is the one show that's from top to bottom the best show out there for pro wrestling. As a pro wrestling fan, and me still being a fan, I enjoy watching the show because it hits all aspects from the knockouts, the tag division, X division. Whether you want to watch technical wrestling, we have luchadors, Japanese style in there as well. It's all mixed and matched. So whatever flavor you want to watch of wrestling, it's there.
And I mean, you obviously mentioned there is a lot of positives, but there's also a lot of negatives too with pro wrestling right now. But looking at the positives, what are some things that you're enjoying right now, whether at Impact Wrestling or just on the wrestling landscape as a whole?
I'm enjoying just getting out on the independent scene as well and working with talents that I haven't been able to work with. Like I just recently worked with Matt Taven on an independent show in Boca Raton. That was a lot of fun because we become friends just because we pass each other in locker rooms all the time now. Now we share the locker room here at Impact. So you just see the people that you're like, oh, okay, I would like to work with him at some point or do something. And yeah, just it's exciting to be able to do that. And then just even with Impact and the opportunities they've given me this past year and a half, I've already been here. Time flies. Having a match at Rebellion and beating Jay White and Chris Sabin in the same night. To be in the ring and share that and to be able to come out the victor in that makes me pretty happy. And that's another one I was very proud of.
Yeah, those are two big names to have a win in your win column next to, definitely too. You've been stepping up your game, and obviously, like you said, you've been taking on more independent bookings and all of that. So you mentioned Matt Taven. Is there anybody else in that independent circle that you're hopefully crossing your fingers you get to work with sometime soon?
Uh, no, it's whatever kind of works out. Like I just if a match comes up, it's just that's the fun thing of working with new people and meeting new people across the independents as well outside of Impact. And I'm just enjoying wrestling from just it's so much fun right now. I'm happy to wrestle and I'm having a lot of fun doing it too. And I don't know if it shows to people, but it's so much fun right now.
Yeah, you've been doing so much recently, especially too over your last year plus at Impact. And you mentioned earlier, obviously, Impact Wrestling is returning to Nashville, Tennessee on September 23rd and the 24th for Victory Road and the Fallout. So, for you, what are some of your favorite memories in the city of Nashville, both in and outside of wrestling?
Uh, well, Nashville's just a great town to go out in anyway and party. Actually, I came here during when I was recently, or when I was let go from WWE, and Deonna was here, and I came to visit with the city to get away. And doing the Johnny Cash Museum was a lot of fun, just kind of sightseeing and taking in, and us going out, and hanging out some of the bars and getting food outside of wrestling was fun with that. But debuting here at Skyway was also one of those that was a lot of fun. It was a good moment. I wish there was fans, but at that time, but it's worked its way.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Deanna told me her bachelorette party is going to be in Nashville.
It is. So
That is coming up so soon. It's November for you guys, right?
yeah, November 10th, we're getting married.
Oh my goodness, it is coming up so soon. And I mean, we'll just talk about her too. Obviously, you are leading up to your official wedding with a fellow Impact talent, the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. So tell me more about the progress of putting together and planning this wedding. It's coming down to the wire now.
Yes, she's the best. She's the best in the ring, and she's just the best outside the ring. She's everything that I'm just so happy that I'm marrying my best friend, and she's the best. And with the process of getting it all together, that's mostly a lot of her with a lot of like, hey, I like this, and this. What do you think? And then I already know the answer is like she already made her choice.
Yeah.
Include me in, which is great, which I appreciate and I'm thankful for. But it's been fun planning and getting everything together. And now we're prioritizing the RSVPs, and she's stressing about that. She's like, these people have an RSVP, but they've booked their hotel room. I'm like, babe, just give them some time. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they've booked their hotel room though, they should communicate that they're going. I mean, that seems official
I
to me.
I don't
I don't
I don't
know.
yeah.
I don't know. What would you say has been the most difficult part of planning this wedding?
Because it's kind of a destination for us for where we're going, because we're kind of going to South Carolina where I have some family, and we're in Orlando, and then we have family from all over, and then it's also 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, so we kind of knew that would work that way, and we also needed to book around all our friends in WWE, AEW, Impact. I have friends still in the Marine Corps that are coming to the wedding, so it's like, okay, what day of the week works? What time of year works? And she wanted a November wedding just for the weather, and I'm just so excited for it, and it's been a lot of fun. More stress on her and me. I'm just like, it's gonna work out. It's okay.
You're like, yeah, you're like, yes, whatever you want. Essentially, a smart man, Steve. And I'm very curious, obviously, speaking of your soon to be wife, what are some of your favorite things about her personally and or professionally?
Uh, for how she is in the ring and how she's so glamorous and is the virtuosa and loves the attention. I love that outside of the ring, she does not like attention. If you haven't know, I don't know if people know that she's very just wants to keep to herself, and she doesn't want to be the spotlight outside of the ring. And it's funny, and I don't know. I think that's just one of the quality traits that I love about her too, just because that's just who she is, and she lets.
She she's fantastic. I've seen her obviously in the zone at Impact and behind the scenes as well. She's just a fantastic lady.
Yeah, and she's entertaining. Just she's funny as hell to me. She's at home right now with the dogs while I'm here in Nashville, so she's enjoying her mama time.
Now, between you two, would you say she's more funny or would you say you're funnier?
Uh I think I'm pretty funny. I think we're
Okay.
pretty even mix, I would think.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
have a go-to joke that you normally go for?
not not
None.
gonna I'll keep that one between D and I. That's for us.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. I respect
But I do
that.
have a joke.
Repeat that.
I do have a go-to joke though, but that like I said, I'll keep that to between her and I.
Okay. Okay. Inside joke. Gotta respect it. Respect it. But I mean, also, obviously, we're also leading up to Victory Road. As we said, you will be competing in the first ever triple threat barbed wire massacre match. So where does a brutal stipulation like that rank within the craziest matches that you've ever competed in?
Obviously, this is up there. Being in a ladder match, being in the no holds bar that Sammy and I just had at Emergence.
Yeah.
Now in a barbed wire massacre. I'm looking forward to it, and a lot of people have been asking me like, how do you prepare for it? It's just
Yeah.
like you really can't. You just have to know that you're gonna get cut by barbed wire, and that's what it does. And there's gonna be blood. We're gonna be taking some time off of our careers probably in this match, but I ultimately want to have the best match possible with the stipulation that we have and tell that story to culminate for the three of us.
Now, are you one there? Because there's a lot of barbed wire entailed in this. Obviously, like around tables, we've seen them around baseball bats. Like it's gonna be everywhere. Do you have a specific like weapon or like utilization of the barbed wire that you kind of prefer?
You'll have to just tune into Victory
Okay.
Road and
Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. And I feel like too, that's obviously a crazy match that we've seen. For you, what do you think is the wildest stipulation or moment that you've witnessed in a professional wrestling ring?
As a fan, like growing up, or just like just
I think just in general, growing up or obviously on the circuit, just nothing you've competed in, just witnessed.
I would have to say it's still Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley and Undertaker. Like
Yeah.
that, everything that made me jump off my garage as a kid. Like I was just, yeah, I thought that was one of the coolest things. And then for him to get up and then get thrown through the cage again, and his shoes laying there, his tooths in his nose, Terry Funk's out there, just yeah, that's one of those like, what am I watching right now, and why is this like so violent but so cool at the same time?
Yeah, I just don't even know how you go even in to prepare for that. I mean, we have seen teased though a little bit you might have some alliance with Moose or you have made a proposal for him at least. Do you have any updates or are we going to have to tune in to
You
see?
just have to tune in tonight on Impact. Now watch on Impact and find out.
That is very true. Obviously, triple threat matches too are also a different element because you don't necessarily have to be pinned in
Yeah.
order to take the loss there. So how does the triple threat aspect play a part into this? I feel like it adds a whole other layer going into this.
Yeah, obviously it does. It's just another way of just chess pieces on a board, and it's finding a way to isolate one opponent while taking care of the other. So there's obviously barbed wire you can get tied up in, so you never know.
You never know. And I mean, as we look towards the future, obviously Impact Wrestling has had some amazing people join their roster over the last year, including yourself. And of course, a lot of knockouts and like Speedball Mike Bailey. That makes me so happy. But for you, if you had the power to sign any talent to Impact Wrestling today, who would it be and why?
I already think you know the answer to this question, though.
Do I?
Possibly. Well, obviously my old tag partner Wesley Blake.
Yeah.
I would love to have Blake here, and it would be fun to share the locker room and the road again with him, and for him to be able to show the world how good he actually is. Because I know a lot of people say he's underrated, but he is, and he's one of the best in the world at what we do. And I would love for him to showcase his talents here.
What has been one of your favorite memories with with Wesley Break? Like wrestling aside, I feel like you two have had such a close friendship. Do you have any like memorable moments that you've shared together? You feel?
Just traveling the road and getting to go places and see things. Like when we were in Paris, we were I dragged him with me because they were doing a tour while we were there with NXT.
Yeah.
We got to go to Paris, and they're like, "Hey, who wants to go to the Eiffel Tower and this?" I'm like, "Dude, we can sleep later. Let's just go so we can do this check off our bucket list." And I remember it was raining, and it was me, him, and Eddie Orengo, referee on Monday Night Raw, and we're all standing there, and we get to the Eiffel Tower. I'm like, "This is it." I'm
Really?
like,
Steve,
I dragged you guys to this, and this is it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's get back in.
just whatever to the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I guess it's more of a romantic place to go to. So it's like I think I would probably feel something more with Deonna there. I hope I would. Like it'd be more romantic, but like just getting to travel the world with us too, and then just sharing the road. And recently, us at PW Revolver, we got to win the tag titles there, and just the tagging was so much fun. And just we had a blast doing it because we got to do things that everybody told us we couldn't do, and we got to be us.
I'm excited for your future too. I feel like you've had a very unique career, obviously coming out of the military and then going into professional wrestling, and it's been like obviously a lot of ups and downs for you. Has there been like a piece of advice anybody's given you just like professionally, whether it's life advice or wrestling related, that really has stuck with you?
When I first started, Darren Young at the time, Fred gave me the advice of just never changing who I am. Be you and don't change. And my time in WWE, I met people at the beginning when I got there, and I saw how they changed, and I was like, wow, he's right of what he told me. So it was one of those things that's always stuck in my head, and I appreciate him for that.
I feel like that's such a good piece of advice too. And I mean, obviously, we have so many huge things coming up for you. We have another huge pay-per-view coming up in the near future on October 7th. We have Bound for Glory in Albany, New York, which by the way, I'll be there, by the way. Very excited for it. So, in the spirit of being bound for glory, what are some of your personal or professional goals that you'd like to tackle next?
Uh, Well, obviously after barbed wire massacre, my eyes are on either Josh Alexander or Eddie Edwards at Bound for Glory. Whoever comes out with that title, that's what I'm gunning for, and I've been gunning for a while. Personally, I hope Josh holds on to it. That's, I think, the match that people are quietly talking about and thinking that's going to happen. And I know at some point he and I will be in the ring, whether it's for the title or not. And that's the one guy I've been wanting to work with personally and within Impact Wrestling. But outside goals, I'm finishing my college degree in psychology, so that's my goal right now.
I got a bachelor's in psych. Fist bump to you. So there you go. Go on. That's exciting.
Yeah, I got about another year and a half left, so it's time consuming and frustrating. I just did statistics last month, and that I was ready to throw my computer every day because I hate math, but I ended up with a C plus, so I was very happy. I was like, C's get degrees.
I'm trying to remember. I still have my whole statistics notebook from psych. Like psych stats is different than like regular statistics. But it's really fun. I'm curious, like, where did this interest in this, or what is your ultimate goal with your psych degree?
So I originally wanted to get into health fitness when I first started college, when I got out of the Marine Corps at 25, and then I got into wrestling. So wrestling took over. And then as I've been growing and mental health has become a big thing amongst my friends and dealing with that. Once I was let go by WWE, I was looking into jobs at the VA. I was all right, well, maybe wrestling might be done. I don't know. I don't want it to be, but I need to pay the bills and help feed our family. It's a two-way street for both of us. It's not just one way. So we both work hard together, and for Deonna and I. And I looked into social working, and I was like, oh, wow, like that's something I would like to get into. But every application was like, oh, you need a psychology degree or a degree. And so I was okay, cool. Maybe that's my avenue down the road, because not many veterans at the VA hospital I go to are social workers that are help there. So like, why not have somebody that's experienced in it and can relate to you and be able to just sit and talk to somebody to get to know them and help them out however you can, and just be that voice.
I like that a lot too. I completely like relate on that wavelength too, with like wanting to help others. Obviously, I haven't done anything with my psych degree yet, but we all help in a way, and I feel like it's a good background to have, and I feel like that comes from a good place in your heart. And obviously with your experience in the military too, that's really admirable of you, and I'm rooting for you. I know Dee is very close. I'm pretty sure she's pretty close to completing her degree.
Yeah, she was just honors this past semester, so she was exciting.
There you go. There you go. I mean, you two are in school, not together, but basically at the same time. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. So, she read everything. So, because my punctuation is just awful.
Well, we are obviously rooting for you always. And before I let you go, can you please tell the listeners where they can find you on all your social medias?
You can follow me at Steve Maclin on Twitter and Instagram. YouTube, I haven't really uploaded in a while, but at YouTube as well with Steve Maclin. Pro Wrestling Tees Store, Steve Maclin, and at Shop Impact Deals as well, Steve Maclin. So, yeah.
Steve, thank you so much for joining me today again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I can't wait to see you next month at Bound for Glory.
Maybe we can get an interview with Deonna and I at the same time.
Please. I mean, we should make this happen, to be honest.
Talk of wedding the entire time, because I know she would love that.
Or we can make it like a little match game.
Do that too.
The possibilities. But don't forget to tune into Impact Wrestling's Victory Road event coming up this Friday, September 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Impact Plus and for Impact Wrestling Ultimate Insider. Steve, thank you so much again for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.